Rising has returned to the foxhole. You're listening to the voice of reason, Zoe Williams, Foxhole Radio, Sirius 106, XM 149, and as usual, we have another heater on deck for you. You know what it is. Get to your phone lines, 877-2-106-106. That's the number to dial. Real quickly, let me shout out Deuce TV, the homeboy, for hooking up my special guest tonight. But before I introduce the brother, let me tell you what the topic is. Is it time to upgrade your Mac software? The art of Macking with King Flex, Tariq Nasheed. People have been asking for this brother to be on the show, and he's here now. So if you're having a difficult time hollering at a sister in the club or anybody, he's going to give you the tools you need to really Mac that, bag that sister, whoever. Call right now, 877-2-106-106. That's the number to dial. What is the art of Macking? What does it mean to be played? How can you protect yourself from being played? Is there any real difference between a Mac and a pimp? Ladies and gentlemen, I also have another special guest. You know who he is, author of the 48 Laws of Game, Pimpology, Pimpin' Ken. 877-2-106-106 is the number to dial. Is it time to upgrade your Mac software is tonight's topic. I'm about to take a quick break. You need to call me. You need to get at me right now. I'll be back in a second. We're going to get it started. Peace. What does it mean to be a Mac? Does a dude's voice determine if he's a Mac or not? I don't. Shit. What is it? What is Macking? Is Macking disrespectful to women? Somebody call me, 877-2-106-106. That's the number to dial. Is it time to upgrade your Mac software? The art of Macking with King Flex, Tariq Elite Nasheed. That's the brother. And of course, Pimpin' Ken. Both of these brothers are authors, best-selling authors. Ken is 48 Laws of Game, right? Or Pimpology, the 48 Laws of Game. And, of course, Tariq Nasheed's new book is The Elite Way. 10 rules men must know in order to deal with women. 877-2-106-106. That's the number to dial. Ken, what is the difference between a Mac, a pimp, and a player?
Well, hypothetically speaking, I never call myself a player because, I don't play no games. I don't even turn my radio on because it plays. You know what I'm saying? But, you know what I'm saying? A player play a lot of games. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Now, a pimp, he's more on the serious side. He's who we consider the one who is more dedicated to the institution of, checking paper from a dame. He pretty much demands his women to submit to him. He's more like the type of person who would, when he get ready to light a cigarette, his woman fumbles 3 or 4 times to make sure that cigarette is lit. When he get ready to when he get out of bed, his house shoes is there. He's more of a controlled, manipulative type of person when it comes to, his circumstances. And he's more like, to him, it's not really about the money or about, what people think. It's about total domination over the female. Mm-hmm. Now, the Mac is where, generally what happens is, you might be a player one day, you have a few girlfriends, you're just playing a bunch of games, and then one day you might get serious, you might become a pimp. And, you might just be dedicated to the, the controlling of women. And then the next level of the game is the Mac. Now, a Mac is what you would consider somebody like Don King, Donald Trump, Pimpin' Ken, Tariq, yourself, certain individuals, who understand the art of making money, who will use any circumstances possible. Anything in their vision that they can come up with, they would use it to get money. And that's pretty much what a Mac is. A Mac is like, he encompasses all of those things. He's like a player, a pimp, a hustler. He's everything because a Mac will do whatever he can to get money. He'll have real estate. He'll have, entertainment companies. He'll write books, because he's about paper. He's more, generally a Mac is about 40 years old. Generally most Macs are about 40 years old. They done been through the game. They done, they done went through the women's and so on and so forth. So they understand that, you just can't get money check paper getting in one way. If you really want to get ahead, you have to expand your hustle and do it all type of ways, and that's what I was taught. Mac is he's like the epitome of all those things that we just mentioned.
Right. Tariq, talk to me.
What's up, Pimpin' Ken? Now, Ken broke it down, and let me build on what he's saying. What's up, everybody out there in the foxhole land, first of all. Now, let me break down the history of all the names and the terminology of all this stuff. Now, a Mac comes from an old word called Macaro from Rome. All right? There was a guy named Caligula in Rome, and Caligula was a freak. If you know anything about history, he was a real big freak. He was having sex with his sisters, cousins, aunts. They even said he had an affair with a horse. So he was on one.
Right. Boys,
exactly. He was just really on one out there in Rome. And the Romans were real freaky back then anyway. Caligula had a partner named Macro. Now, Macro was a person who had the first recorded incident of what we know is pimping now. Macro had a wife, and he told his wife to go get some money out of Caligula because he's a big old trick. Go break this fool, basically.
Ancient Greece pimping.
Man, you guys can Google Wikipedia what I'm saying, all right?
Okay.
So that's where the name Mackin comes from. Mackin, the word macro in French, the word macaro translates into pimp, all right? The French word for pimp is macaro.
Come on.
You feel what I'm saying? And in the United States, pimping really got started in New Orleans in the red light district, all right? Because when the French came over, they had the Moulin Rouge, all that stuff. They brought it over here. So a lot of the pimping and the terminology and the Mac men, that's what they were called then, guys who ran brothels. They were doing their thing down in New Orleans, and it spread around the country from there. And Pimpin' Ken was exactly right about the terminology and what everything means. A player and a pimp and a Mac, they're almost one and the same, but the thing is, a player is usually about sexual gratification. Players like to get a number of women and notches under their belt sexually. Pimps are all about money. Pimps, they ain't about laying up and all that. Pimps are very distinct about what they want. They want paper.
Right.
Now, the Macs are all about power. And they understand that if you have a certain level of power, you can get sex and money at your disposal. So that's why they dip into different ventures. Like the old Mac men back in the day, they would have prostitution houses, they would have drug houses, they would have numbers houses. So they were into all types of hustles. So so that's what people need to know about the game.
Right. Man, this is heavy. I'm learning. 877-2-106-106 is the number to dial just in case you just tuned in. Tonight's topic, is it time to upgrade your Mac software? I think that's an interesting topic because I believe personally what you believe is like a computer software.
Absolutely.
Some people, and software always needs to be updated and upgraded. Now, if you just, have an old software and you think, what you've been doing is going to work, you're going to stay in a certain type of experience. You're going to have a certain type of existence. But if you're constantly upgrading your software, social software, psychological software, cultural software, just like you said in your book, The Elite Way, different states have different consciousness.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
So the women in the South are different from women on the West Coast. And women from the West Coast are different from Midwest. And Midwest is different from East.
That's why you have to expand your game.
Come on now. So my point is, how do we get people to expand their game? And is game, because the way you broke it down in your book, you said talking to women is really like a game in the sense that you got to go out. It's like a sport almost.
It is.
So you got to go out and figure out, how do I play this game? You got to have a strategy. Now, I get from a lot of women that they don't want to play no games. So let's talk about that.
Exactly. See,
I've got to set you up.
Exactly. Now, like when women hear the word game, and I have this all the time, women say, well, why does it have to be about game? Why does it have to be all about game?
Right.
It's really about strategy. That's what game is. When you go to Vegas and you gamble, people have this gambling mentality when it comes to love, when it comes to relationships. They think that it's all about chance encounters. You fall in love. When you fall in something, that
you're out of control.
You're out of control. That's an accident.
Right.
So people have that gambling Vegas mentality when they're trying to get into the dating scene.
Right.
Now, when you gamble, you still have to be able to make an educated bet.
Right.
When you go to Vegas, there are people who know how to count cards and use strategy to win these games.
Right.
When you go bet on a horse, you need to look at the background of certain horses to know who has a track record that's worthy of betting on. So players and Macs and Pimps, they do the same thing when they deal with women. They're not going to leave it up to chance, like, oh, I'm going to fall in love. I'm going to check her out. I'm going to check out her background. I want to see what her psychological makeup is. I want to see the people she's hanging around. And from that, I'm going to tailor my game to get that. And there's nothing wrong with that. See, women need to do the same thing. See, a lot of women these days, they just look at cute and rims. You dig what I'm saying?
Cute and rims. This goes back to Pimp and Ken. Pimp, talk to me about, you know, the 48 laws of game and how that aligns with what my brother Tariq just said here. Again, I mean, I read your book like 3 or 4 times too, and once again, when he said, you know, having a game or having a strategy, you broke that down in your book as well. Ken, talk about that a little bit.
Okay, I'm going to give y'all a more wider perspective from my perspective. Me and Don Juan, I met Don Juan in 1995. Number 92 at the Players Ball. When I met him, they were so happy to see me. I was just this shining Mac, player, pimp, whatever you want to call me. They were just so enthused with me, and all of a sudden next year we do it again, and Ice-T is there, and Don Juan is there, and all the players is there, and HBO is there. Guess what? Pimps up, hoes down. Okay, let's still you guys. You know, let's Mac on them, let's play them. Now, unfortunately for HBO, I was just a little bit sharper than some of the guys that was present. So I made a few demands, and I told them, hey, look here, if you want to do business with me, you have to see my lawyer. I need this amount of money. I want the movie to end with me, so on and so forth. Of course, I received all my demands, and upon receiving all my demands, guess what? Me and Don Juan became arch rivals. Don Juan was, you know, he was showing love to me, and I was showing love to him. Now, let's go back to what Tariq said. So what I had to do, I had to develop a strategy and a stratagem. I had to come up with something real clever, because this was my idol. This was a dude that I looked up to. So I had to be very clandestine and very slick on how I handled this situation, because I know a lot of people love this man. So I took a calculated risk. I said, what I'm going to do, I'm going to adopt one of Robert Greene's strategies. I'm going to make enemies with Don Juan and all the pimps. So in the Source magazine, I believe about 7 years ago, I got in the Source magazine. I said, I don't mess with them pimps. I'm not with them. Don Juan, they using this word church and blah, 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 blah. Now, I knew that he was going to attack back. So Don Juan got back at me. We went back and forth in magazines. I let it go for about 2 or 3 years. Around the 3rd year, I had to come back, and I had to, you know, pretty much befriend him all over again. You know, Don Juan, man, I'm sorry. Woo, 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 woo. For 3 years, we went through this. All the time, I had my man Michael Maroy putting footage together. Guys hating on me, saying F Pimp and Ken, he ain't nothing. He ain't with the church. I had people saying Pimp and Ken this and Pimp and Ken that. And long story short, we put together this new documentary coming out to across the country, Pimp and Folk, at TooRealForTV.com, where it's like Pimp and Ken versus Don Juan, like Magic versus Bird. Now, what happened was at the end, Don Juan ended up over my house. Me and him had sushi and shrimp, and you know, we had a good time. But it was all a strategy. Now, that's from a wide perspective. It took me 8 years to put that together. Now, on the female tip, what people don't understand, we always talk about how the pill play the woman, but what about the who tell the daughter, girl, don't you go out there unless you find somebody with some money?
Okay, wait, Ken. We gotta take a quick break. I want you to come back to that point after we take this break. Again, tonight's topic is it time to upgrade your Mac software, The Art of Mackin, with King Flex, Tariq, Elite Nasheed, and Pimpin' Kid. We'll be back in a quick second. Zoe Williams, Voice of Reason, Foxhole Radio, Sirius 106, XM 149. I'll see you in a second. We're getting a thorough history right now about Mackin, Pimpin', playing. Listen, this show is about relationships, all kinds, even the kinds we don't like, even the kinds we don't understand. That's what this platform is about. If you don't agree with it, hey, call me. 877-2-106-106. That's the number to dial. If you don't agree with Pimpin' Ken or Tariq Nasheed, call up. Let's talk about it. This is an open forum. And listen, this is what I do. I got 3 young kids. I let them listen to my shows so that they may be educated. Because there's nothing like being blindsided by a situation. You don't have no knowledge of it. You know, you can't recognize what you're in. And guess what? Experience is the best teacher, but it's also the harshest teacher.
Absolutely.
So I want to be able to equip my kids with a knowledge of, hey, that's a Mac, or that's a pimp, and that's a player. Let me steer clear. That's how you navigate. 877-210-6106 is the number to dial. Call me right now. Is it time to upgrade your Mac software? The Art of Macking with King Flex, Tariq, Elite, Nasheed, and Pimpin' Ken. Brother, we got people over here. Ken, finish your thought about how women, you know, tell their daughters to go out and find a man with money and all of that. Talk to me. You say that's pimping.
Okay, exactly. Even my mama, she told my sisters, and I was a very young man, and she always told them, girl, make sure that you go out there and you get you somebody with some money. If you're going to marry somebody, don't marry these little broke dudes around here. Go marry you a doctor. Go marry you a lawyer. And then you got these women. You got these women, though, that hang out in these clubs. They hang out at the Bucks game. They hang out at all these concerts. I'm talking about professional women for the sole purpose of trying to knock them a basketball player, football player, a rap star.
All-star weekend.
All-star. You know what I'm saying? So my point is, you know, they always put the focus on how men run game. But, Tariq, you need to tell them how these women be trying to play strategies on us, too. A lot of them, you know, they act like they like you. You know what I mean? They'll play that little stall game. They make you pick little kids up. But all the time, all they doing is they going in these cats' pockets, man. These cats, you know what I'm saying, ain't nothing but a bunch of squares. But, you know, like, if they get my book, I'm going to cut the squares out, make them round and put them down. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, I'm just, hey, man, they can use, man. It won't be confused. You feel me? I'm talking all go to pimpkid.net, man. Hey, man, we got it popping over there, man. We got some game. Tell them, Tariq, we got some game, man.
Absolutely.
Take y'all to the moon, man, without a spaceship, baby.
But, man, that's what I'm going to build on what he's saying, man. The whole concept of marriage for love and getting with people for love, that's a relatively new concept.
Right.
See, they try to teach men to fall for that. Well, she loves you, marry her because she likes you. See, women have always known to marry for money.
Right.
See, marrying for love is basically a 200-year-old concept. Before then, people would marry because of their bloodline.
Right, it was a dowry.
It was exactly.
Right.
It was about
I need
combining
400
wealth.
goats.
Exactly. You got
for my daughter.
And give me these 3 chickens. I'll trade you this cow.
Exactly.
That's what it was all about.
Exactly.
Then people start talking about, okay, love this, love that, and then lawyers got involved, and then they found out a way to really pimp the system. The government is like a pimp. They treat the average man like a trick, and they treat the American woman like a hoe.
Come on.
You dig what I'm saying?
Come on, go deeper.
Alimony.
Yes.
Alimony is tricking money. You dig what I'm saying?
Go deeper.
Everybody gets a lot of child support is tricking money because the government gets a little cut out of that. They want men to be tricks nowadays.
Right.
Before 40 years ago, men ran the household. A lot of corporations started taking over the country, and they started selling products, and they wanted people to be on this thing where they're going to consume things.
Right.
Because back in the day, if you tried to sell a family something, you would have to consult the husband first.
Right.
You go door to door selling vacuum cleaners. The husband would come home and say, "What you bought? What? Take that shit back." No. You bought encyclopedias. Take that back.
Right.
So they needed to create an environment where men are going to be whooped down to do anything their wives tell them. That's why they implemented the feminist movement. Can we get deep? We got time to get deep?
We got time. We can go ahead.
Man, they implemented the feminist movement. Now, if you notice, once they implemented the feminist movement, the pimping movement became huge in the early 1970s. Because the thing is, women were accepting the simpish behavior that a lot of men were doling out, and men doling out money and all this, but women have a natural need to be controlled by men to a certain degree.
Right.
So women started choosing up on pimps like crazy in the 70s. Do y'all feel what I'm saying?
Do you disagree?
Ken, you feel me?
Wait, hold on. Yeah. Do you disagree? Ladies, I need to hear from ladies from Chicago. I need to hear from ladies from Detroit. I need to hear from ladies from Seattle, Washington. I need to hear from ladies from Oaktown. I need to hear from ladies from Miami. If you disagree with Pimpin' Ken and Brother Tariq, Elite Nasheed, call me right now. 877-210-6106. Callers, hang in there. I'm going to get to you. Ken, you have in your book, it says keep a hoe in arrears. He just broke down. He just broke down how the government keeps its hoes in arrears. Talk to me about that, Ken.
Well, exactly. I mean, the government do just that. I mean, you know, here we is, you know, we work for years and years and years, and all the government do is they take taxes. But instead of those taxes going to, you know, building the community and roads, so on and so forth, yeah, a small portion to go to that. They spend the money in defense. They spend the money in prisons. Why? Because most of your congressmen, most of your politicians have prison stock, and they also have stock in defense. That's why you see Congress pushing so hard for this money, because, you know, it's a form of pimping. What they do is they break us. Then after they break us, they take the money that they break us from. You know, I mean, you remember Enron and all that stuff. They take in Hollenberg, whatever the heck they call it. They take all this money that they get.
Halliburton.
Hollenberg, yeah. And then they turn around and they spend it on their own corporation. They talking about they're gonna regulate Wall Street. How's a pimp gonna regulate himself? You know what I mean? They own Wall Street, but they tell us that they're gonna regulate Wall Street. So I mean, when you look at it from a higher perspective, it gets deeper and deeper and deeper. But I want to keep it down here on the lower level for all the brothers, right?
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, let me tell you something, man. When you a pimp, P-I-M-P, all you saying is put it in my pocket. Now that's from the general sense. Now when you take a brother like Tyreek and a brother like myself, he just sold an untold amount of books. I just sold an untold amount of books. At this point, our books becomes our prostitute. My main bitch is my books. This is my chick. That's why I put so much emphasis on it. That's why I send her to work every day. I make sure she on Amazon. I make sure she at pimplecan.net. I make sure that people know that this chick is for sale. Now, when you on the other level, when you're on the street level, you got your girl. She's down from 10 o'clock at night to 10 o'clock in the morning. She's putting in them 12-hour shifts. She's getting your paper. She's doing your thing. So in a general sense, when you talk about real pimping, man, it's really no particular person or name or style that you can really put on pimping when you talk about the pimping that we talking about now. Talk about that in the introduction to my book. I said, man, really? If you really want to know Uncle Sam, all you got to do is put him on some gaiters, you put him on a Versace suit, and you got a real live pimp. Because if you don't pay him by tomorrow, guess what? He gonna put you up under pimp arrest. You dig what I'm saying? He gonna get his money. You know what I'm saying? He is the highest man of his kind. So, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, and then, but we look at it on the lower level, like Tyreek was talking about. You look at the brothels and all this and another, and you think, oh, you know, that's really pimping. No, that is not really pimping, man. Real pimping, you would never see it coming. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, Dick Cheney, the vice president, he owned $87 million in prison stock. But yeah, he's the one responsible for hiring the Supreme Court judges and some of the appellate court judges that makes the laws that keeps the brother in jail and come out with the crack laws. You know what I'm saying? With crack laws, all of a sudden, crack is worth 1,000 times pop. But yet, you know what I'm saying, most of the people that sell crack is African-American males.
Right.
You know,
so, Ken,
you talk about manipulating women, but what about the manipulating of the whole United States?
Okay, I got you, Ken. I love it. But let me say this, man. I want you to tell everybody where you from, or not where you from, but where they can find you, where they can get your book, because we got to take a break, and I want to thank you for calling in. Ken, you know how we do, man. I appreciate you for short notice getting at me real quick.
First of all, let me say, the last time I was on your show, man, last time I was on your show, Voice of Reason, I sold a lot of books. I want to thank the Voice of Reason. I want to thank my man Zoe. I want to thank Tyreek, man, for giving me the opportunity to share this moment, just because it's really his moment. It's not my moment. And also, I want to let everybody know, you can go to pimplecan.net. I also have the Pimp College, where my book is now curriculum. I teach out of 48 classes. So we got Law 1, Law 2, Law 3, all the way to 48. We teach that. And once you buy it, you pay the $14.95 and join the class. You also get my audio books. You get all my movies, everything for $14.95.
Hey, Ken.
Now, if you just want the book, you
Ken, hold on 1 second, Ken. Ken, I'm going to give you another opportunity to do this. Hold on, Ken. Somebody has called in that wants to challenge Tyreek.
Oh, tell me, come on.
And you.
Uh-oh.
877-210-6106 is the number to dial. Foxhole Radio, Zoe Williams, Voice of Reason. Again, tonight's topic, is it time to upgrade your Mac software? And we have a challenger. James from Vegas.
What's going on, guys?
Talk to me, James.
What's up, James?
Y'all Mackin is whacking. Your Mackin is whacking. I understand where you're coming from, but explain to me how you can teach this in an elementary school to some of our youth. How much sense does it make? Talk to me. Explain to me how are we going to teach this in our junior high schools to our 13 and 14-year-olds who are already having a hard time.
Okay.
Well, now, go ahead, Ken. Let me let Ken get him first.
First of all, James, let me say this to you, man. If you're really paying attention, you know what I'm saying? If you're really paying attention, if you got your ears on record and your game on absorb, you really will pay attention to what we saying, man. We ain't talking about no little kids, man. We talking about a situation, man, that go way beyond putting a chick out there on the streets.
Absolutely.
We're talking about pimping on a whole nother level. We're trying to show you how one people point the finger at us, but they got three fingers pointing back at them. You understand what I'm saying? So that's what we're talking about, Jay. We're not talking about trying to educate no little. I mean, naturally, I got 5 kids. What I look like trying to tell your kids and my kids that's going to school and they doing good, what I like trying to tell your kids to become pimps? No, I'm telling your kids to become entrepreneurs. If you look at me and Tariq, would you rather for me and Tariq to be walking in your house, tying you up, doing a home invasion, and putting a pistol in your head and say, break yourself, or would you rather for us to be on the Voice of Reason selling books? I mean, white folks sell books about Nazism. They sell books about economics. They sell books about everything. They got a chick selling a book about Oprah right now, disrespecting Oprah, one of the most powerful African-American sisters in the earth, in the world. And here we trying to make an honest living, and you saying that our game is whack. So if
exactly.
Our game is whack, what I challenge you to do, James, is you write a better book, and I'll buy your book.
And James,
let Tariq go.
And James also, man, a lot of people, man, who have that square mentality saying, well, how can you teach the kids this? How can you teach the kids that? Kid and I, we're breaking down the real science of what real game is. See, your kids are already getting some half-ass game from these rap records. You dig? Your elementary kids, they're listening to these records with these dudes talking this pimp, wannabe pimp shit, really talking about tricking, and they're getting a false ideology of what the game is really about. We're just talking about the game really from a historical perspective, and we're talking about how it's global and how it affects everybody. So we're not advocating, just like Ken said, your kid putting somebody out on the track. We don't want him to go to school and send some girl out on the track for some milk money. We ain't saying that. We're just breaking the whole game down and just putting it out there to let you know how it operates. It's just like a mafia book. People love books and movies about the mafia, but you never say, why are you teaching people to be in the mafia? We're just letting you know what the game is and how it operates and the etymology of certain words and how it affects people as a whole. You feel me, James?
Hey, James, you want to respond really quickly?
I understand what you're saying, and I understand you're talking about the etymology of the verbiage, but it may be the terminology in which you're kicking it.
Now, if you don't like the way we're saying it, I mean, that's a thing that's on you, but we're just putting it out there the way it is. We're just breaking down facts. Right or wrong, these are just the facts of the game.
Man, James, let me just say this really quickly.
Give me a quick fact to help me understand.
So that's what we've been doing for the last 25 minutes.
But I haven't understood anything.
But James.
Okay, let me bring some clarity.
But this ain't no special ed game. If we're gonna put it one way, there's only one part of the game. There's no remedial Mackin, bro.
So let me do this, Ken.
Can I say one thing for point?
Well, hold on one second, Ken. You might have to write it down. Let me just clear this up because we got to take a quick break. James, let me just say this. You know, the worst experience that I have, that I hate, is walking somewhere and I don't see this big-ass spider web, and I walk right through it. To me, I'd rather know something is there. I'd rather understand what I'm about to walk into. So for me, like I said, I got young kids, and I know certain things are for young kids and certain things aren't. However, listen, our kids, because of technology, they are more aware. They talk about more risque things than we ever talked about when we were kids. Absolutely. So they're more up on game than we think they are.
Absolutely.
So it's about being open. It's about being able to say, hey, man, what did you see at school? And what did you experience at school? For me, they need to know this information so they can know how to navigate around this kind of stuff.
Exactly.
Because I'd hate for my daughter to be bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, and doe-eyed and walk into a situation and not be prepared on how to defend herself against a slick-talking young cat that will convince her through charisma to do something that she knows isn't right. So that's why we do this kind of show. James, I appreciate you for reaching out. Rue from Los Angeles, Terrence from Tennessee, D from, I don't know where you from, Steve from Connecticut, Fred from PA. Hang on the line. I'm about to take a quick break. We will be right back. If you agree with Pimp and Ken, if you disagree with Pimp and Ken, if you agree with Tariq, if you disagree with Tariq, call us right now. 877-2-106-106. That's the number to dial. Is it time to upgrade your Mac software? The Art of Mackin with King Flex, Tariq, Elite Nasheed, and Pimp and Ken, Zoe Williams, Foxhole Radio, Sirius 106, XM 149. We'll be right back. This is Zoe Williams, and you know your game is whack. So what better way to get you in the mood than to go get a Bud Light? You know Bud Light's superior drinkability, that right taste, not too heavy, not too light, and the unique ability to elevate good times with friends only enhances your whack game. You know you don't know how to talk to these women. You don't know how to approach them unless you have something that has superior drinkability, something that will knock off your edge and make you chill and relax a little bit. You know Bud Light is fun, it's social, it's the perfect beer for bringing people together, and it will help upgrade that crap you call game. Just go get a Bud Light. Trust me, it will help you. You might even tell the truth for once in your life. Bud Light's drinkability is what sets Bud Light apart from other beers. You know, it's the sure sign of a good time, man, when you have a Bud Light. You know, drinkability at its finest. Here we go.
Big pimpin', baby. Big pimpin'.
Voice of Reason, Zoe Williams, Pimp and Ken, Tariq Nasheed. It's a long time coming. 877-2-106-106. That's the number to dial. Is it time to upgrade your Mac software? Mac software is a train of thought. And, you know, you got all type of, you know, law of attraction kind of people out there that'll tell you the level or quality of your prevailing thought process. It dictates what your experience will be. So if you look at Mackin as a software, right, a set of skills, a set of tools, hey, man, if it's outdated, upgrade it.
Absolutely.
How about that? 877-2-106-106, that's the number to dial. Pimp and Ken, man, once again, I want to thank you, man, for coming on and participating. You know, they're going to find you. What's your website real quick? I know you got all kind of TV and books and everything. Real quick, tell us where we can find you so we can move.
Okay, www.pimpandken.net, or if this will help them, they can go to thisispimpin.com. And everything that you want, every book I ever did, every movie I ever did, all that is there. And they can also go to Amazon.com, and then usually will find me and Tariq are always sold together. I don't know why.
Exactly.
Hey, and let me tell you this real quick, Ken. Let me tell you this real quick. Your publisher was on our show, and she speaks so highly of you and the book. You know, she didn't even, of course, she published Corinne Steffen's book, too.
Let me say this right quick. We write 6 more books. I'm very secretive, so I don't speak too much about, about what I'm going to do. But Karen Hunter she's the best-selling author. I mean, she's a good person. That's all I got to say. I know what you're talking about. And, man, listen, we got some big things coming. That's all I got to say. But
well, brother, hey, let me just say this, man. I appreciate you coming on the show, man. We got to move on. Thanks for reaching out. It's all love, and I'll be having you back on at some point. You know how we do. Thanks for reaching, and let's do it, man. Thanks.
Ken.net. Y'all hit that right now. Please.
There it is.
All right, Ken.
All right, let's get to some callers. Rue, Los Angeles. Talk.
Hello?
Yo, what up? Yes, sir.
What's up, man? Hold on, let's get this. I'm from Oakland, you feel me? But I'm in Los Angeles right now, right?
Okay.
So I got my bride out there, you feel me? I met her in Vegas, you feel what I'm saying? She ain't had no high school diploma. I upgraded her on that, you feel me? I got her where she got insurance, health care, all that, you feel me? Going to school, graduating to be an NR, a nurse, you know what I'm saying? I'm a pimp, I'm a Mac, you know what I'm saying? But I started off as pimping and upgrading my shit, you feel me? And I'm just saying, I mean, like, the brothers
like the brothers out there selling coke in the community, man. You just got to upgrade what you're doing, man. It ain't about what you do, is how you do it, man. I went from selling coke to all that, you feel me? Got a house out there in Tracy, California. You feel me? I'm doing good for myself, man. But you got these in the way dudes, you feel me? Like I'm out here in L.A., you feel me?
Well, let me ask you this, Rue. Rue, this is Zoe. This is Zoe, the voice of reason. Let me ask you this real quick. What's your end game? Are you gonna be pimping your whole life? I mean, where does where you gonna take this to?
I'm taking it to like this, right? If I see a sister, I don't even look for hoes, brother. I don't wake up in the morning like, oh, I'm about to go search the street for a woman that works and get money quick. You know what I'm saying? I get my money. I get 2 wax every 2 weeks. You feel me? That's $2,000 every 2 weeks. You feel me? So I don't work hard. You know what I'm saying? I play hard. You feel me? But I tell you like this, right? If one come along and she like, oh, I need help in this and that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't the helping hand, but you feel me? I'm gonna tell her like this, man. I help you get out of a jam and help you get on some real hype, some real money. Because half these cats just want to lay up in the woman and don't really pull her up and pull her down. You know what I'm saying? You can be a square dude, be a player, and all you want to do is have a whole bunch of females and be on that weak game where you're going to manipulate the woman's body, her mind, her purse, and have her all discombobulated. Then when she come to me, I catch her drinking a 40 on the corner, damn near ready to commit suicide. You feel me? I'm going to bring her back.
So you see yourself as a savior. Go ahead.
But like Zoe was saying, bro, you do have to come out with an end game. You know what I'm saying? Because being a hustler, and I don't criticize anybody for hustling. Sometimes we start off in that game, but we have to flip it, and we have to get out the game, man, because what happens with hustlers, man, no matter what hustle you in, eventually the violence is going to get you caught up in the game. That's what happens with a lot of hustlers, because when you're in the game, you're going to grow, you're going to fall off. And if you're in it for a while, you're definitely going to grow. And the more you grow in any kind of hustle, the more people are going to try to test you. And when people try to test you, you have to make an example out of them. Even if you're selling dope. If you're selling dope, other drug dealers are going to try to test you.
You got to respond to the challenge.
If you got a whole bunch of hoes, sooner or later, one of them hoes going to get slick. They're going to start showing out in front of other hoes, and you're going to have to make an example out of her. You dig what I'm saying?
Right.
So you have to come out with an exit strategy, because the violence is what gets every hustler. The hustler Harry O out here in Los Angeles, big time D-boy back in the 80s, it wasn't the dope that got Harry O. It was the murder. Supreme out of New York, the guy who was associated with Murder Inc.
Right.
It wasn't the dope that got him. They had him on a murder charge. So you feel what I'm saying? The violence is always going to get you in the end. So, bro, you got to get about the game the best way you can. I can understand you real thorough with the game, but the hustlers back in the day, their whole thing was about flipping it and squaring up sooner or later. They were somewhat low-key with their game. They hustled, but they had a fraternity-type vibe. And their whole thing was keeping the game within a certain subculture and not letting any squares in their business. Right now, man, we got squares dry snitching like crazy. You can't trust these folks out here now, man. The game ain't what it used to be. So you really got to upgrade your game on that level. You feel me, player?
Appreciate the call, Rue. Terrence, Tennessee. Talk.
First of all, I want to say thank you for allowing me to come on the show.
For sure.
Appreciate you and the distinguished gentleman that's on the panel right now, Poetess, Mac, the whole gang. I want to say thanks and for allowing us to be able to vibe with y'all. My question is this. I've seen a lot of people in my day that has been with the nose wide open. You know, I've seen a lot of people with their nose wide open, and the thing is there any way that they can flip the script or change the game to where their nose is not open any longer, and they can just switch it on the woman like the woman got it on them?
See, the thing is, the women can only control a guy one way, and that's sexually. See, the thing is, if you want to be thorough as
ladies, if you disagree, call right now. 877-2-106-106 is the number. Women can, I don't know. Go ahead, finish your point.
Like I was saying, man, women can only control a dude one way, and that's sexually. If you are a guy who's not disciplined enough to not allow yourself to be controlled sexually, you shouldn't be in the game. The thing is, a lot of guys are out here weak for sex. That's the trump card that women have. See, the thing that the pimps had, the pimps knew how to discipline themselves. They knew how to cut off that whole sex thing and get the purse first, ass last, so to speak. So a lot of square dudes can't imagine and fathom that idea. They're so happy that a woman is naked around them. That's the end-all, be-all. And the thing is, a lot of guys talking about they want to be pimps and this and that. The thing is, a lot of dudes want to quote-unquote pimp just so they can have a bunch of women to have sex with, and that, by definition, is not pimping.
What is that? Is that a player?
That's called you just a player with a lot of females around, just like Mr. Pimpin' Ken said earlier. So the thing is, man, a lot of dudes don't really have that discipline to take it to the next level of the game, man. It's the pimping game, and I grew up around a lot of these guys, a lot of these Oakland players, a lot of these Hollywood players, and I saw how the game went down, and these guys had a lot of integrity and a lot of discipline, and that's what I took out the game. Forget about the stereotypes. We all have these Huggy Bear, Dolomite stereotypes about what the game is about, but it's much deeper than that.
Right. Ladies and gentlemen, we got to take a quick break. Tia from California, I will be getting to you after this break because you're a female and I want you to chime in on tonight's topic. Is it time to upgrade your Mac software? Just like my brother Tariq just said, the stereotype is the outdated software.
Yes.
New Mackin might be self-actualization, right? Abraham Maslow, self-actualization. I'm a Mac. I control my destiny. How about that?
Absolutely.
A Mac is someone who controls their destiny. Again, we can make whatever word mean what we want it to mean.
Exactly.
We could flip it around. So is that the new Mac? Somebody call me. 877-2-106-106. That's the number to dial. Is it time to upgrade your Mac software? The Art of Mackin with King, Flex, Tariq, Elite, Nasheed. We'll be back in 2 seconds. Peace. The voice of reason, Zoe Williams, has returned to the foxhole. Zometheus rising. Ladies and gentlemen, is it time to upgrade your Mac software, The Art of Mackin with King Flex?
Absolutely.
That's what we're doing right now. 877-2-106-106. This is the number to dial. Really quickly, Tariq, in your book, The Elite Way, right?
Yeah.
You have a formula, GIC squared.
Absolutely.
Please, let's school folks on what that means, brother.
There's a formula that I came up with, and I talk about it in the book. It's the formula to getting not just women, but basically anything you want out of life. And I call it the GIC squared formula. G is game. I is for intelligence. C is for common sense. All right? The thing is, people usually have one or the other. And in order to be really successful and be a true Renaissance man, you got to encompass all three. You've met people that were intelligent, they were smart, but they just didn't have common sense.
Right.
They didn't know how to apply the education and the smarts they had.
Right.
Then you have people who have a lot of game, but they're not that intelligent. So they know how to hustle, but they don't know how to parlay it.
Like my man who just called
Exactly.
in. He don't have an end game.
He don't have an end game, so
Right.
that's where your intelligence comes in.
Right.
So you need to have all three of those things popping off. And when I say squared, when you square a certain property, it becomes infinite. It's a mathematical thing.
Right.
So if you have the three things popping off, your game will be tight infinitely.
Right.
You dig?
Right.
The game will be in you, not on you. That's an old expression that the players have.
Wow.
You dig?
Okay, keep going. I want you to go deeper.
Yeah,
In
let me
you,
get
not on you.
Exactly.
Go deep.
When the game is on you, that means somebody can give you a couple of pickup lines. It's superficial. Somebody can let you borrow their car. The game is on you temporarily.
Your clothes are on you.
Your clothes are on you. Your rims are
your
on
car.
you.
Yeah.
The jewels are on you.
Right.
You dig?
But
that
it ain't in you.
It ain't in you. That can be taken away.
And I always tell cats, what you have should be a reflection of who you are and not the other way around.
Absolutely.
Come on now.
Absolutely.
877-2-106-106. That's the number to dial. Doc from Los Angeles, talk to me and Tariq.
Where you at, Doc?
Is Doc in the building? I'm sorry. Doc ain't supposed to be on right now. I want to go to Kia from California, my female. Talk to me, Kia.
Hello, gentlemen. How are you?
What's up,
good.
Kia?
Nothing much. I would just like to compliment you guys on your book because it is a worldwide thing, this game here. You know, you have to have it in everything that you do.
Absolutely.
And I am very, very happy that you guys actually put it out there as a worldwide issue and not just on some pimp and hoe shit. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. And for that dude, James, Jesse, or whoever called and tried to crown y'all, he needs his ass kicked. I'm just saying.
Wow. Okay. Violence.
He need to wake up.
Exactly.
And he need to wake up, you know. He's probably getting pimped right now from somebody that whoever knows, you know what I'm saying? But anyway. Also, you had said something, I wrote it down here. You had said, a woman, if a man is being pimped or something, you were talking about a man, how a man be controlled by a woman. It's many ways besides sex. I'm sorry, Tariq and Ken, but there is a thing called art of seduction. You guys know this, correct?
Yes, yes.
But the thing is, you're seducing them with sex, though.
No, sir. Seduction is just not sex. It can be a conversation. You know that. Conversation.
So is sex the dangling carrot?
That's what he's waiting on. He's going through the conversation, and his mind is on the sex. The conversation can be bullshit, but in his mind, he's like waiting for you to shut up so he can get sex.
Right.
You understand that?
Right.
I do understand that, sir, but that comes way later. Example, how I got my husband. I'm 24. He's 34.
Okay.
He wanted pussy. But I believe I got that apartment, that house, that car. I have 2 jobs, and I have my own instant oil thing that he put on for me. So you see what I'm saying?
Okay, now you played the game correctly, but you used your sex and you manipulated it for your benefit.
Now, what happens when the carrot gets old? What happens when the carrot gets shriveled up and old? What happens then when you can't dangle no more?
Or me?
You. What you dangled.
Exactly.
Now, when I get old?
Not just you getting old. I'm saying what you use to entice him. What happens when that lure doesn't work anymore?
Well, you do things in stages, darling. They have all types of toys, straps, whips. I mean, everything is in stages. If you make a plan,
and I pop my collar to you.
Thank you.
I pop my collar to you. We're not in disagreement. The thing is, the game, I spit the game for either men or women. If women are going to accept the game, let me upgrade you. If men are going to accept the game, let me upgrade them.
Exactly.
Surprisingly, a lot of square dudes don't like the game. See, a lot of square dudes are comfortable with being tricks and simps, and they're comfortable with getting sex.
Really quickly, define a trick.
A trick is a guy who uses any form of monetary value game to get women.
All of hip-hop.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know?
If you use anything of monetary value to get sexual favors from a woman, fellas, you are a trick. Be it weed, a card note, it might not be outright cash, but if you give some woman something of value in exchange for sex, buying drinks is a certain form of tricking too.
But you know what? That is the culture here in Hollywood. Most clubs let women in for free, charge the dudes, and dudes go buy drinks for women.
Absolutely, and I tell women's. But I tell dudes all the time, women will accept all that stuff, but they won't respect you at the end of the day. And respect is what a player, Mac, and a pimp requires first and foremost.
But some people will disagree with that because of the connotation and the image, the stereotypical image of what a player, Mac, and pimp are.
Absolutely, and in hip-hop videos, that has a lot to do with it.
Right.
These guys in videos throwing a lot of money out, making it rain, talking about big pimping. You got to put that video in reverse so the money can come back. Right. That's big pimping.
Wow, wow. That, I mean, just like Rockefeller or Bill Gates, when they go to bed, their money is still working.
Absolutely.
And multiplying itself. That's pimping?
Absolutely.
Come on, y'all. 877-2106-106 is the number to dial. Is it time to upgrade your Mac software? Rebecca from Houston, I want to talk to you.
Hey.
Hey, what's up, Rebecca?
Oh, I'm all right. I just kind of wanted to make a comment on the dude earlier. I think it was Terrence, and how he, talking about how he pimp his women, and, y'all kind of made it right how you said he don't have an end in mind. But to me, I think the guys who pimp females are just lazy. Are just lazy dudes who can't be man enough to go out there and make that money and work. They're just
agreed. I agree with you. But what about the women who participate in the game?
But, and you know what? I get that. But a lot of those women that participate, number one, have low self-esteem, and they manipulate them. And I think the dudes...
Nah.
No, I know.
No.
Yes, they do.
Because there's nobody lazier than a hoe. The hoe is very lazy. That's why a lot of women hold. And that's why a lot of them need pimps, because pimps are the ones that motivate them.
They're lazy, too. But still, like, I don't want to get all technical, but what?
Please do. Please do. Please do. No, please get technical.
What is it? A man who don't work, don't eat. It's the man that needs to get out there. That man needs to tell that girl, motivate her, whatever. I know the girl is probably lazy too, but still, they taking advantage of that.
They're not taking advantage of them. It's like if you work at Burger King, the owner of Burger King ain't making fries. He's somewhere chilling while people are making fries. You dig? It's the same thing.
I'm telling you, my The reason why dude pimp a female is because he's a lazy man. Point.
See, that's a stereotype, but that's just a stereotype. And I respect your opinion, but that is a stereotype.
But Rebecca, let me just say this too.
Yeah.
This is Zoe.
Yeah.
I don't entirely disagree with you. I think there are certain elements of the pimp game that are misogynistic. They absolutely hate women on some level. I mean, I even put Pimpin' Ken to the test when he was on the last show, and I asked him, I mean, you guys, and I said, I read your book, and in the book, it talks about the code of the pimps.
Yeah.
And it talks about don't disrespect an old pimp.
Yeah.
And it talks about, hey, man, respect the game. But it seems like they have the least amount of respect for the hoe. Because part of one of his rules was, I'm happy to see a hoe leave. That was part of his.
Yeah, it's called cop and blow. It's an old term.
The cop and blow.
Yeah.
You see, so, you know, part of what she's saying is true. And Pimpin' Ken, one of his laws, you know, create a weakness. Prey on weakness. And if a woman doesn't have a weakness, create a weakness. And to me, that is malevolent.
See, the thing about it, man, with pimping, and again, I'm not in the game, but I learned a lot of the stuff that I know from reading a lot of books and being around a lot of those guys when I was younger. What I learned about the game is that women are already going to be hoeing. If you go to YouTube right now and type in the word booty, you see a lot of women with their assholes tooted up. You'll get thousands and thousands of pages with women hoeing for free.
Who aren't molested or
they're not
abused
molested,
or
nothing. A lot of these women are hoeing for attention. A lot of these women are out here gobbling dick like they're at Applebee's. You dig what I'm saying? They're going crazy with it. We have a hoeing epidemic. We have hoeing role models right now. We have the Kim Kardashians with the sex tapes, the Paris Hilton with the sex tapes, all these sex tape types of chicks out here.
Right.
And these are what women look up to now.
Right.
These women, it needs to be more macking and pimping out here to upgrade these women's games to get some damn money if you want to be really real about the game.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like a drug deal. If you're giving away cocaine and somebody says, hey, don't give away that cocaine, you need to sell some of it. You can't be like, well, I don't want to be called a drug dealer.
Right,
you dig?
right.
You're already giving it up.
Right.
It's the same thing with all these women out here double dick clutching with all these dudes. You dig what I'm saying? You
wow.
can't, you gotta, and then they want a wedding ring at the end of the day. You have this show with Chili, what Chili wants.
What does Chili want?
What does Chili want? You can't be out here hoeing for 20 and 30 years, and then you want somebody to wrap a ring around your finger. If you want a ring wrapped around your finger, you gotta unwrap the dicks.
Ladies and gentlemen, King Flex, Tariq Nasheed, Chili, if you're listening to the show
And I
tonight.
love Chili. Chili might be the nicest girl in the world. I'm just using that as an example.
If you're listening to the show tonight, please call me, 877-2-106-106. That's the number to dial. Is it time to upgrade your Mac software? I got to take a quick break. My callers, hold on. I'm coming to you. Trust me, soon as I come back from this break, I'll be talking to you. Voice of Reason, Foxhole Radio. I'll see you in a second. Voice of Reason, Tariq Nasheed, Zoe Williams. You know what we're talking about, and if you don't, is it time to upgrade your Mac software? If you got an old school misogynistic, woman-hating, you know, woman disrespecting software, to me, it's time to upgrade your game. You know, I understand the culture. I've read a lot of books. I'm like Tariq. I know a lot of pimps. I got homeboys who pimped women, but for me, the part of the game that I like, not pimping women, because I got a daughter, man. I will hurt somebody who try to pimp my daughter. I'm sorry. Territorial with it. I'm going to hurt up somebody. It's just true. But the part of it that I like is, man, be an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Man, change, diversify. I mean, I got a cousin who used to do a little dirt. He wasn't pimping, but he did a little dirt. And many years ago, I owned a pager company. Yeah. Right? And I had a little bookstore. And, you know, I had and I put everything in it. I just had a space. Yeah. So I sold books. We did airbrush T-shirts. We had, remember those black college hoodies? You know, we was selling everything. And then I did a pager company. And then some old dude came at me and was like, yo, man, you know they just deregulated ATM machines. So I pulled together some money, bought an ATM machine with cash, put that mug in a little liquor store in Gardena. It was making, you know, $2,500, $3,500 a month. Yeah. passive income. Every time somebody swipe that you see what I'm saying? To me, that's pimping.
Now
that's macking.
Now let's go back to the history of what pimping is in America.
Talk to me.
Man, after Reconstruction, a lot of black slaves, ex-slaves, they went to northern cities and they started legitimate businesses. Like in Tulsa, Oklahoma, Rosewood, a lot of legitimate black businesses around the country. And a lot of white people were jealous of that.
Right.
They would burn down these communities.
Black Wall Street.
Black Wall Street. That was the biggest one. That was just the tip of the iceberg. It was several ones all around the country. They were called sundown towns, and this was mainly in the northern cities. That's why a lot of people, black people, are congregated into certain metropolitan areas because they weren't allowed in other places with their businesses. So a lot of people, black folks, had to go underground. Because they couldn't go legit because the whites would run them out. So they would become numbers runners. They would become what were called competence men, which were con men. They were con men, exactly. And they would pimp. And the pimping was already going on with the mafia.
The brothels.
There were brothels in New York, Harlem. There was brothels in New Orleans, Texas, all over the place. So a lot of black women were, after slavery, were still having sex with their white bosses. Black women would walk around the major cities, and white dudes would get at them, honk their horns at them. That's where the term honky comes from.
Honky. Pull up, honk the horn.
Honk the horn at the black women.
Exactly.
And the pimps pulled them women to the side like, look, you see these honkies trying to get at you. Stop having sex with these people for free.
There's an economy here.
Exactly.
Let's take advantage of this economy.
Exactly. And that's how the whole game got started. Those old players said, look, you need to ask him to break bread. And that's how the whole game got started. So it was based out of an entrepreneurial spirit. All right. And then, the media made it something.
Well, and again, you can't, this is the oldest profession in the world.
Absolutely.
So you can't have, you can't vilify one aspect of this profession. You see, if you're going to vilify anything, vilify them both.
Absolutely.
And then at the same time, don't vilify it racially. Because the Bunny Club up in Vegas, come on now,
and
the Bunny Ranch.
The actual law that makes pimping illegal is called the White Slave Trafficking Law.
Come on now, let's talk about Jack Johnson.
Jack Johnson, 1910, out of Chicago. The law has race in it.
Come on.
And most of the laws back then were race-based. The weed laws were race-based. Cocaine was made illegal because they were telling people that cocaine-crazed Negroes were going around raping white women.
Right. So the Birth of a Nation movie.
Exactly. So they would always use race to kind of regulate certain things and make it illegal and make money, and it was a real whole racket that they had.
See what I'm saying? Let's get some callers. Tim, St. Louis, it's your time to talk to me, man. Holla.
Hey, yeah, what up?
What's up, player?
Man? Hey, I was trying to go back to when you were saying how niggas a trick off on the girl, as in buying shit.
Yeah.
What about somebody that buys shit for themselves and bitches just be attracted to it?
Okay, now that's fly. That's nothing wrong with that. See, a lot of guys who are tricking, they try to justify tricking by saying stuff like, well, if you go on a date, that's tricking. The thing is, when you go on a date, you're treating yourself and you're inviting this person to enjoy your company.
If I go on a date, I'm asking, can somebody pay for me? And that's every time.
and that's cool in the gang too. But when you invite somebody on a date, you're treating yourself and you just have them coming along with you. And if you pay for that, that's cool if you're not trying to get sex directly after the meal. The thing is, there's nothing wrong with treating somebody out on a nice night on the town with you. That's cool.
Right.
But giving somebody money in exchange for a sexual favor, that is definitely tricking.
Brother, thank you for the call. I appreciate it. I got to move. Brian, Kentucky, talk to us, man. I'm a move. Mike, Houston, holla at me now.
Yeah, man, I got one little comment, or a couple of comments. First of all, Zoe and I think it's Tyreek.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Oh, man, y'all deep, dog. I can learn a lot from y'all, man. I'm learning every night when I listen to, every Thursday night when I'm listening to Zoe.
Yes.
My first comment is about James earlier. Now, I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed, man, but I understood what Pimpin' Ken was saying. Man, Pimpin' Ken put it in another perspective. When he said something about, Uncle Sam, when you owe Uncle Sam money, you don't pay him that money, then what are you going to do?
Pimp arrest.
Eventually get his money. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So, that's basically what I had to say, man. And one more thing, Zoe, you need about another couple of hours, man, because that hour and a half ain't going to get it. I can listen all night, man.
Hey, man, I appreciate the call, man. Thank you, dog. Mike from Houston, talk to me now. Mike from Houston is Ghost. D from Houston, holla at me.
What's up, brother?
What up, D?
Man, I'm listening to your show, and I agree with it mile away about that shit. That's the only advantage a female really got on a dude. Because me, myself, I ain't pimping or nothing like that. But once I get it understood, then I ain't really focusing on the sex. That shit kind of come to me. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
A lot of hoes just lacking for attention. You know what I'm saying? So you give them that attention, you know what I'm saying? Everything else will fall in place. You really ain't got to break bread with a lot of these simple hoes out here. But, you know what I'm saying? Simps and lanes in the game don't forever make it like it is.
Hey, man, I appreciate the call. Thank you, man, for that information. Darren, Kansas, your turn.
Basically, y'all put us on game. I appreciate y'all putting me on the show, and I'm learning a lot also. I got a lot of people in my car right now. They learning themselves. I'm a brother in the military, so every day I see people not using your formula, game, intelligence, and common sense.
Yeah.
They come out here, they spend money, they try to get you know what I'm saying, their cars tricked out with all the money that they learned in deployment, just trying to get these hoes with no end game whatsoever. But another thing, like I said earlier, people have forgotten the basics. In today's society that is completely obsessed with instant results and sexual favors and sexual attention.
Right. Instant gratification, right.
Forgotten about, you know what I'm saying, basic laws of morality, respect, honor, sacrifice, putting in hard work for what you want. You know what I mean? People just want, you know what I'm saying, instant results. Women want to instantly fall in love after tricking and double clutching the dick like he said earlier. Dudes want to pimp, they want to live the lavish life overnight, but that's not going to happen.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Woman, this is my car. I told you that. Hurry up, get inside.
He's pimping now.
He is working it out right now.
We done created a monster.
Hey, man, I appreciate the call, brother. Thanks for reaching out. George, Toledo, talk up, man.
Hey, man, how's it going? Listen, I just called because I heard a caller say earlier that there was that you guys had a book out, and I wanted to know the name of the book. And go on, you say what?
Yeah, I have 5 books out. My new book is called The Elite Way, The 10 Rules Men Must Know in Order to Deal with Women. My first book is The Art of Mackin. Have a book called The Mac Within, Player Be Played, The Art of Gold Digging. So I have 5 books out. But the new book is The Elite Way.
The Elite Way. All right, I know a librarian. I'm sure she'll find the book for me.
There you go, brother.
He's like the librarian.
Yeah, you're the librarian right there. Hey, man, thanks for the call. I got to move. Joe, Missouri, it's your turn.
Yeah, man. I like the show, man, but hello?
Yeah, we Joe. Come on.
Yeah, I said I like the show, and I agree with the things you've been saying, but I was always taught the name of the game is cop a blow, not stick and stay, because you give the game away.
What was the last word? What was the last term you said?
I said the name of the game is cop and blow, not stick and stay, because you give the game away.
No, right. You're supposed to, like, if a female is not cooperative, you definitely charge her to the game. That's with anything you do. If you're in a square relationship and the female ain't really up to par and the thing ain't working out and the chemistry is gone, you have to be man enough to charge her to the game. A lot of guys will hold on to a relationship and hold on to a female trying to be possessive and win the woman back over, but if something ain't working, you can't put a circle into a square peg.
Right.
You got to be man enough to let it go and recover from that.
True indeed, true indeed. Thanks for the call, brother. Brian, Kentucky, it's your turn to talk.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all let me get back up on the line. What I wanted to also say was 2 comments. One on was, behind each great man is a great woman. And
true,
yes.
As you know, like back in the day, Martin Luther King, his wife wrote a lot of his speeches. And
Coretta
also,
Scott.
In the modern day time, Hillary Clinton, behind Bill Clinton doing the, Monica Lewinsky incident. A lot of guys were going around saying, hey, be a Hillary, and look at them. Know what I'm saying? They both pimping the game together. So you can't just leave women up out of this aspect and just make them seem as if, you know what I'm saying, tricking on them and doing this, doing that.
No. And no, not at all. And I agree with what you're saying, man. A guy should look for a female who compliments him. And I get on guys about that all the time. A lot of dudes, man, guys are so focused on just the big ass.
Right.
You don't look at
the physicality.
On the physicality.
Yeah.
And the thing is, when you get with these women and then they end up writing a tell-all book about you, right? Or they get on the internet putting out your phone numbers. You dig what I'm saying? Guys are looking.
Or reveal the text messages.
Exactly. Exactly. Guys get caught up in the game because you're not paying attention. You're not on your game.
Man.
So you have to choose a female who has good character. You have to look beyond just that big ass and see how thorough that woman is.
But see, if you lack character, you won't recognize it in the woman. and you won't magnetize it out of the woman.
Absolutely.
See, a woman is attracted to the integral honesty of a man.
Exactly.
And if a man can't be like on his square with the truth about who and what he is, like for instance, to me it's tricking if you go buy a car with the hopes of it attracting a woman.
Right.
That's tricking. So for me, that's an empty dude who doesn't have knowledge of self, of who and what he is, what he's about, what he wants, what he desires, and what he can create with his own internal power. But see, again, we have these type of experiences, and then we create monsters in our relationship because we don't know this stuff. So let me hit you with a couple of questions.
Yes.
Tell us about grenade macking.
Grenade macking. Guys always want to know how to approach women in clubs, how to break the ice. And what I tell guys to do, you should do what's called grenade macking. And when you have a grenade and you pull the pin, it's going to explode in a couple of seconds.
Right.
So you have to act like the grenade is your mouthpiece.
Right.
So you go around the club, go around the social spot, proverbially pull the pin and spit game for 2 seconds. Hey, how you doing? Are you having a good time? I'll talk to you later. Go to the next woman. Pull the pin. Hey, how you doing? You're having a good time. Talk to you later. This is going to help you learn how to talk to women without the fear of being rejected. See, that's the biggest fear men have.
The male ego.
The male ego hates to be rejected.
Right.
And this is why a lot of guys don't approach women. But if you come to them with the grenade macking, which is just a courtesy approach, you can't get rejected for something you didn't ask for.
Right.
You're not asking for anything. You're just giving a person a common courtesy.
Right.
This will help build up your confidence because it will show you how to socialize. You have to learn how to practice to socialize. And also what I tell guys to do during the daytime, make it a point to speak to everybody you see.
Right.
Speak to the doorman, speak to the maid, speak to the Mexican car wash man, speak to everybody because this will help you get into the mind state of socializing with people so you get over that anxiety.
Right.
So when you do see a woman who's on top of her game and she's fly and you want to spit at her, you'll be in the mindset of talking and socializing.
And another thing that you brought up in your book, The Elite Way.
Yes.
Go get his book.
Yes.
The Elite Way.
Yes.
You said read a book once a month.
Absolutely.
Dude, I read at least 2 books a week.
Me too. Dude.
So when they say King Flex is going to be on your show, I say he can't be on my show unless I have his book.
Yeah.
And then I read the book. I got the physical book, and then I download it on the Kindle.
Yeah.
I done read the book 3 times. So again, the more you read,
yes,
the more advanced your vocabulary gets.
Absolutely.
And the more broad your perspective gets.
Exactly.
And there's nothing that a woman likes less than a man she cannot learn from.
Exactly.
So Pimpin' Ken says it in his book.
Yes.
When he says a hoe without instruction is headed for self-destruction.
Exactly.
So it's not that I agree with hoeing or pimping hoes, but I understand what he's saying in the parlance that he uses it in.
And the thing is, pimping and hoeing is really just a metaphor for life, for man-woman relationships.
Come on.
You dig what I'm saying? It's just an extreme version of that.
Yes.
That's all it is.
Yes.
Because back in the day, people had that dynamic. It was the man who was really lacing the woman with game, and the woman putting in work around the house. And really, the whole concept of pimping is the old Egyptian concept.
Come on.
Let me break that down.
Come on now.
The thing is, it's all about valuing yourself as a man. It's Eastern philosophy. The Egyptians studied the big cats.
Right.
Their whole thing was the lions, the cats. They had a royalty to themselves. That's why they have the big Sphinx out there in Egypt. They worship that. They saw that the male lion basically chilled, while the female lion did all the work.
Yes.
And people say, well, why is the lion chilling? Why is the female doing all the work? What's the incentive for them? See, the male lion, he's getting to eat. He's getting to have sex with all the female lions. The thing is, the male lion is giving the female lion his seed. Do you understand that?
I got you.
The seed is going to ensure her lineage.
Yes.
And with a man, you're giving her a verbal seed, the seed of game, where her mind can grow, and you're giving her the biological seed.
Let's do this, though. Can she flip it and give us a seed?
The thing is, when a woman can give you a certain level of knowledge.
That's what I'm asking.
But you cannot follow your woman.
Come on.
That's the thing. See, that's the mistake that a lot of men do. They get into.
But the Egyptians, you know, the woman was out front in Egypt.
But she respected the man.
She definitely respected the man, but there was a unity between them, not so much like, say, Judaism, Christianity, Islam, where these religions say, woman, get behind me. In Egypt, she was right there next to the physical manifestation of God.
Exactly.
Which was the Pharaoh.
Exactly. But the Egyptians, that you notice, they always worship the sun.
Oh, yeah.
and the son was the giver of life.
Yes.
That's why they named male children the son.
Right.
The male is the giver of life.
Ray or Ra, that was the end of the name. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. So it's a whole deep thing.
Man, I love it. Let me hit you with one more.
Yes.
Come on, now, you know this is what we're doing
Yes,
here, right?
yes.
What is a first-degree Mac, second-degree Mac, and third-degree Mac?
Now, every dude goes through a player stage or a Mac stage. We go through the stage. Men want to just see how tight their game is going to be. They want to see how many notches they can get under their belt. A first-degree Mac, this is what happens when a guy becomes sexually active for the first time. When a guy becomes sexually active, we want to know one or two things. We want to know how to get more women or better women.
Right.
And in our minds at that time, more is better.
Right.
So that brings us into that second-degree Mac stage where we just want to get as many notches on our belt as possible.
Right.
It becomes about quantity. Now, for guys
over quality.
Exactly. Now, for guys advanced, if he's smart enough to know that one top-notch woman is better than all the 20 jump-offs, he reaches third-degree Mac level. And he gets a woman who compliments him.
So the third-degree Mac believes in monogamy.
Absolutely.
Come on.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
All right. We're doing this. Lorenzo, Houston, your turn.
Hey, what up, Zoe, Tariq, man? Hey, I just wanted to see if you clarify something for me. Hey, dude, Joe, you say you let your kids listen, so I imagine some other kids will listen too. I work and my wife stays at home because we feel it's better for her to be at home with my 4 kids, and I got them all the way from 4 to 20. Okay, so I guess in your terminology, I may be considered a square. Now, are you saying that if a man is out there working and allow his woman to stay at home, are you saying being a square is a bad thing?
No, not at all.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, no, not at all, man.
Go
really,
ahead,
to be a hustler, man, the end game is really to square up sooner or later. When you're a hustler, man, every hustler, they want to get that one female they can eventually square up with, because being out here in the game, it's not as fun as people think. You dig? Dealing with all these people, dealing with a whole bunch of women, all the players who are in the game that I know, a lot of those guys, man, they have to put on this mean persona because you can't let people know the real you. And this is not everybody, but for the most part, a lot of these guys have to put on a certain face to deal with all these people. And it becomes a headache after a while. And they just want to kind of kick back and square up because they're tired of looking over their shoulder. You're tired of waking up, making sure nobody's trying to stab you in your sleep. You know what I'm saying? So you want to get that end game out there.
Because part of the hustle is, at some point, I want to go straight.
Absolutely.
At some point, I want to go straight,
Absolutely.
Right? CJ, California, talk.
Hello?
CJ. Yes, sir.
Hey, brother, how you doing?
I'm good, man. Holla at me. We got to move now.
What's up, C?
Man, I just wanted to say, man, you know, I live in Compton, California. Now, if you go down Long Beach Boulevard, you can see all the whores that you want to see. They come from everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So all I'm saying is, brother, that we are the prize, homie. The woman is praying after us. They praying after a real motherfucking man, homie. If a brother got to really find out who the fuck he is, he don't need no Bentley, no Ferrari, all that type of shit to get a real woman, homie. You know what I mean? All you got to do is be himself.
Absolutely.
I agree, brother. Hey, thank you for the call. I got to move on. And again, a real man deserves a real woman and vice versa, and they're out there. But my thing is, I look at it like this. Relationship, we talk about the game. To me, I tell my daughter this, I tell my son this. I say, listen, man, the more knowledge you have, you look at that as tools in a toolbox.
Yes.
Right? Tools mean nothing if you don't use them.
Exactly.
And what do you have tools for? Usually you're trying to build something. And I always tell them, whatever you know is tools in your toolbox, and they're there to help you build the kind of life you want.
Exactly.
So if your knowledge is limited, that means you have limited access to the tools, and you don't really know how to apply them.
And your tools are character. That's all it is.
Come on, man.
Tools, that's character.
Come on.
The experiences you get, if you learn from them, it builds character and integrity.
Come on now.
This is why I said when you deal with a lot of women and you want to graduate from that, you become a third-degree Mac because your integrity is intact, your character is intact, because you learn something from all the experiences.
So Mackin just ain't about manipulation and taking advantage of people. It's also about getting to a point where you're starting to craft yourself. You're trying to rebuild yourself and get to a space where you can be the, like I like to say, the ruler of your own destiny.
Absolutely.
Right? The final say on your life should come from you.
Exactly.
Big Frank, DC, talk to me right now.
How you doing tonight?
I'm good, man. You got to make it quick. Talk to me.
Okay. Is it tricking when you meet a trick and you give her some money and then you rob her after you trick with her?
That's it. That's still tricking. You're a trick and a thief. So that's double non-integrity.
Double non-integrity. Hey, brother Frank.
If I give her $250 but I leave with $375, did that come up? I came up.
No, but the thing is, you came up
dishonorably.
Dishonorably. Yeah, you're still a trick because she's going to look at you as a trick who robbed her. That's it.
Hey, brother, I got to move on. Really quickly, let me do this. I want to send a shout-out to my little homeboy, little Marcus. He put together an event, a charity basketball game. Brothers Entertainment presents first annual celebrity basketball game, 7 p.m. at Edison High School in Fresno, California, this Saturday. The celebrities will include, I'm not really a celebrity, I'm on the gang, I'm on the team, though. Zoe Williams, Speedy, Nissan Stewart, Jackie Long. It's going to be a lot of cats out there that, my homeboy Sick With It, who's from Dina and one. We're going to go out there, we're going to play ball. Let me just say this real quick. Soul from Florida, James from to you guys right now. We don't have enough time. I appreciate you guys for calling in. I got to just send a shout out to my homeboy Tariq, King Flex. Man, we got to do this again.
We got to do it again. This went by quick, didn't it?
Yeah, man. See, people think it, you know, this pimp business or this game and macking and playing, they think it's just about misogyny or disrespect of women. But I think we elucidated on the point tonight that it's much more than that. We're just using the street vernacular to try to make it connect to the people who are in this culture.
Exactly.
Talk to me, man. Tell them where they can find you.
Man.
Tell them where they can get your book, websites, all of that.
Yo, you guys can get my books at maclessons.com. You can hear my podcast at maclessonsradio.com. You can get my cologne and my sunglasses at TariqElite.com. Mackin. You can get your Mac game up, get your tools and your jewels together. But definitely check out maclessons.com. You can go to amazon.com and get all 5 of my books. I'm on tour right now. I just left D.C., Houston, Chicago, all over the country. Hit me up at info@TariqElite.com if you want to make it happen in your city. Me and my boy Zoe, we got to go out here on the road and put this game in August. We got to do this, Zoe.
My tour is coming. The Voice of Reason tour.